Fake news is a trending topic in today's society. WMYL and WJBZ Radio's Jack Ryan thinks it's a bigger problem than most people think. Today I sat down with Jack to further discuss the problem that is growing in the media world. Jack is an award-winning on-air radio personality with 10 plus years of experience and understands the importance of factual news. The main challenge in Jack's world is how to report factual news while making sure his audience can distinguish it between his own opinions and his personality-based show. Let's go. Well, thank you for joining me today.
Thank you. Appreciate the opportunity to talk about fake news. Pretty hot topic nowadays.
Absolutely. So you're a radio guy, and you've been on air for a very long time. In your opinion, are you seeing more fake news today than you ever have?
I don't know the answer to that. I think that we are picking up on it more so than we ever have, just because we've got the internet and we've got so many sources out there that are scrutinizing every word that is said on television, on radio, and in print. It's almost like you can't get away with anything nowadays, So I'm not so sure that this has not always been the case. I think there's been fake news since the beginning of time. We're just catching it a lot more now.
Do you ever use fake news on the air?
Well, I have to admit that, yes, I have been known to use fake news, and my audience knows that. They know that if they're listening to my show, that's what it is. It's a show, I think there's a difference between turning on the 6 o'clock or the 6:30 news at night. You don't call news a show. You call the O'Reilly Factor a show, right? It's one of the most watched television programs, in America right now. But you know that you're going to get Bill O'Reilly's opinion on most everything. And the guests that he has on, you hope that they're telling you factual stuff. But it's still a show. Let's not get too carried away. But if you're watching a 6 or 6:30 newscast, you hope and believe that what that newscaster, that reporter or that anchor is telling you is accurate.
Yes, absolutely. And do you think that more people are buying into this whole fake news concept just because the person delivering it may be of a higher power or a higher standard?
Yeah, maybe, and I think we're working through some of this too as a society. And let's be honest, Donald Trump had a lot to do with the term fake news. He brought it to the forefront, when he criticized the CNN reporter. Everybody has seen that back and forth. But it's a real problem. It really is. Because, the society, Americans are buying into stuff that maybe is not 100% accurate. That's dangerous,
That is very true. Do you see fake news as something that can be stopped or kind of, set up to be illegal in the future?
Yeah, well, I don't know if we'll ever have a day where we'll see it as illegal. But, I think you will see news organizations severely damaged and their credibility severely damaged if they continue on with it, because it has been brought, to everyone's minds that, hey, what you hear and what you read may not necessarily be accurate. And people are starving for that. They want to know, especially the millennial generation. You guys are all about transparency. Thank you for bringing that to us, really, because I think older generations have just kind of gone along and listened to whatever that news guy tells them, just believes it. Well, we have seen in history many times where we've been fooled, and it's dangerous. So I think the millennial generation has had a lot to do with this fake news concept too.
Do you think that millennials are the creators, the ultimate creators of fake news?
No, I think that it's been going on since the beginning of time. I mean, you go back to the Cronkite days, and there's going to be examples of where he, as the most esteemed news person in the world at that time, was giving opinion when he really shouldn't have been. So, no, it's been going on for a while. I just think millennials have jumped on board with this and say, hey, wait, hold on just a second. That ain't right. And how about you say that ain't right?
Well, I just wanted to say thank you so much for joining me today.
Well, thank you. I appreciate you giving me the chance to yap about this topic. It's a pretty big one, And I'm afraid that if your generation and the professors and the universities who are teaching this stuff to the students that are coming into this, to change their ways a little bit, we're going to have some real problems because nobody's going to believe anything. You know, that's where we're heading if we don't watch out. So thanks to your professor for this experiment and hopefully for teaching you guys the difference between real news and fake news.